Thank you, Jim, and thank you to the Nixon Library and Foundation for inviting me back for the opening of this exhibit. As the 15th Administrator of the U.S. EPA, it is my honor to join you today. Back in September, I spoke here at length about EPA's legacy as the country's premier environmental regulator and how the agency was moving forward into the future. Just yesterday, EPA celebrated its 50th anniversary, and we held a ceremony at our headquarters in Washington, D.C., unveiling the new Ruckelshaus Conference Center in honor of EPA's first administrator, William Ruckelshaus. President Nixon did a lot of good during his presidency, but as Professor Brinkley has mentioned, his actions on the environment are some of his most significant. America is a much healthier, much safer place because of Richard Nixon's actions during his time in office. It's largely forgotten, but back in 1970, when Nixon first appointed Ruckelshaus to run the EPA, an environmental crisis was unfolding across America and really across the world, which is why the title of this new exhibit, President and the Planet, is so appropriate. Then, as now, it was a Republican president who was called on to balance the tensions of environmental protection and economic growth. By the late 1960s, the multi-decade economic boom had created a lot more mobility, a lot more consumption, and with it, a serious pollution problem that was damaging the health and well-being of many Americans. President Nixon, being a Californian and in the wake of the Santa Barbara oil spill in early 1969, understood this. When visiting the oil spill in March of 1969, just 2 months into his presidency, he said concerning the environment, "We're going to do a better job than we have done in the past." And from that moment, America's environmental trajectory changed for the better. And it really hasn't stopped. Between 1970 and 2019, air pollution in this country has fallen 77%, even as the country added 100 million people and its economy grew by 285%. And air pollution has continued to plummet during the Trump administration, down more than 7% since 2017. There are cities in this country where the average life expectancy of a resident has grown by more than 4 years due to proper enforcement of the Clean Air Act, signed into law by President Nixon on December 31st, 1970, and enforced ever since by the EPA. And it was President Nixon who saw environmental health as something that all Americans could agree upon, telling Congress in his 1970 State of the Union speech that, quote, "restoring nature to its natural state is a cause beyond party and beyond faction. It has become a common cause for all people of this country." This sentiment is as true today as it was when he said it, and for that, we should be grateful. I know I am. Thank you again for this great exhibit to our 37th President's environmental accomplishments. Thank you.